Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today at the workbench. Got you focused down here because I noticed something, and this may open up a whole can of worms and possibly a wintertime project. I was getting ready to work on this piece of poplar. I pulled out the number 5, and I'm holding it. I said, well, why don't I use the 5.5, since I'm still getting acquainted with the 5.5. Something didn't feel right. 5, 5.5. Then I got the 6, 6, 5.5. And I don't know if you recall in the Wayback Time Machine how I mentioned when I got the 5.5, it was a curiosity. Because it looked as if it was a Frankenplane. As some of you know what that means. It means it's a plane made up of parts from different planes. So, in my excitement, just having it show up here, I did mention that the tote and the knob looked to be new. Well, that may be the case because it doesn't feel right. I don't really care about the knob. The knob is just there to facilitate a little down pressure when you need it and to pick up. So, I thought perhaps we take a closer look at it. So, I also mentioned that the toe screw had been deformed, so it's likely that might have been original to the body of the plane. But that the top nut, the brass top nut, see, that appears to have been used quite severely, but that the brass top nut looked virtually brand new. So here is the tote. Looking at the manufacture of it, it seems perfect. Its thickness at the base, where my pinky would go, is 15/16, and the middle of the handle is 15/16. So, How does that compare Let's look at the number 5. I'm not even going to have to take this one apart. Well, yes, let's take that apart. Only because I want to compare the hardware and the bottom. So the toe screw looks very similar, just a little newer. But the brass top nut is different. It could be this might have been sanded down, I don't know. So my number 5, this is the one off the 5.5, and this is the one off the 5. See that? This is an aftermarket replacement. Interesting. You can see the aftermarket replacement has this filed in area. The profile does not come in the same. And it goes in further up here. Big difference in the way they feel. Thickness wise, they're close. 15/16. However, it doesn't go in enough at the pinky, and there's a bump here. So I'm thinking, if I'm right, that this is a generic aftermarket handle. And we're going to do one more thing. Let's put the number 5 back together. And by the way, I'm so happy you could be with me here today. I've been a little bit on the busy side. Some different things going on in the house, in the life. And I've had some minor technical difficulties with YouTube. So point of interest, when you're putting totes on, you want to make sure that you're fully seated, nice and even. Don't over tighten your toe screw or your top nut all at once. Do it a little bit at a time. And then don't over tighten. Okay. Just make it the German method, guten tight. So, we're going to do one other thing. This is the number 4. Okay, and it feels different. Now the number 4 does not have a front toe screw. It just has the threaded rod. But if you look at these two, I wonder if these are made generic. See that? That hole has to be there for the number 4s and number 3s. So that if you needed a number 4, you could use this one and just cut that off and reshape this. Definitely aftermarket. So, what does that mean, Walter? Well, it means I either have to find someone to take some of my gorgeous wood, my collection of wood. I've got some gorgeous walnut, and I might have cherry that I could send off to someone who likes to make totes and knobs and just have a complete set made. It cost me a fortune. Get a complete set made to fit my hand, or get them made unfinished and I finish setting them up. Or Walter might have to learn how to make them. The only thing is, I'd be making them old school, since I do not have any electric routers. I do have a bandsaw, and even if I didn't have a bandsaw, I have scroll saws and coping saws and all sorts of hand tools. We could make them by hand. I have a drill press. I thought something was a little odd. So these were replaced. And I think these may have originally came from the UK. I think it was Crown. Was it Crown that was making replacement totes and knobs? Don't recall. Might have been Crown. So, let me ask you, when you are picking up your hand planes, do you notice how they feel? It's a sensitive thing, but they've got to be right. Especially if you're going to use them for any length of time. One of these days, I am going to have to set up a planing bench that locks in my piece of wood properly. So I don't know if you noticed originally what I started with in the beginning of the video. I flattened just a couple corners on this to get this to sit flat on the bench. And now I'm taking, there's a crown in this, and I'm working that off. Look at that. So I'm thinking it's going to be a project, but I'm thinking Walter's Planes, I'm going to get a makeover. See, it's still rocking. High in the middle. I hope you're having a good day. We had a windstorm come through. And had to restake and tie my young peach trees. Corn is still standing. Here we go. That's flat now. It's not smooth, but it's flat. Now we can go back to this side and finish that, what we started. I've mentioned this in the past, how much I like tulip poplar. I really like eastern white pine, but if eastern white pine does not have its pitch set, it can cause you some headaches when it comes to finishing. Whereas tulip poplar, even if it's just air dried, there's no pitch to worry about. So for painted work, it's just fine. All right, so that's should be flat. Now it's just a matter of smoothing it out. I feel just a little something right in there. There we go. Flat and smooth. So, I could just take a rasp to this one and make it fit my hand, which I might do. But that's pretty amazing. You grab the plane the same way every time. The 4 is the smallest plane I can grab like this. This one feels really good. But this does not feel good. It's amazing. My number 6 feels better. Go check yours. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and share. Walter out.